Howdy guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Makayla, and this video will not end until I find a 5-star read. One of the main reasons that I want to do this video is because my reading has been quite literally all over the place recently. I will find a decent book that I like, I'll rate it like 4.5 stars, and then the next 3 books or so that I proceed to read, I hate, I will DNF, give them really low star ratings. And it's just been so hard because I'm getting very discouraged, especially a lot of my highly anticipated new releases by like my favorite authors have been very big letdowns. And like I said, I just really need a solid 5-star to kind of pull me out of this reading funk that I've been in. So I have a stack of books here that are options, as well as my full Kindle Unlimited library as well. But I'm just gonna do rapid fire some of the books that are like on my list that may or may not, we'll see. I don't know how long this video is gonna be. We're just gonna go along together, and let's just jump into this stack. So we have The Midnight Library, Crescent City, The 5-Star Weekend, The Night Circus, Heartless, Chain Gang All-Stars, Shawshank Redemption, Remarkably Bright Creatures. I threw a little bit of everything into this stack. If you couldn't hear, they all fell off the chair. But I just don't know what is gonna give me a 5-star because all the new release romances that I've been reading, I've hated, and I'm just really struggling. So we have a little bit of everything, and I quite frankly don't know where to start. So I'm gonna pick a book and we're gonna get reading, and hopefully we will find a 5-star soon. It's been a while since I've updated for this video. It's about a week to be exact, and things are not going too well. I first started off picking up Shawshank Redemption by Stephen King. It was actually pretty interesting, but I just didn't find myself wanting to actually stop what I was doing outside and like read. So I ended up getting about halfway through and stopping just because I wasn't super interested, but I definitely do think I will finish that. It's not a 5-star by any means, so for the sake of this video, it's kind of dead. But then I picked up The Night Circus, which I was really excited for, got a little ways into it, and I was bored out of my mind. I felt like things weren't happening fast enough, and it was just taking too much brain power to read. I don't know. Wasn't really enjoying it, so I ended up putting that down. And then yesterday, I picked up The Thrashers by Julie Soto. It's a little YA mystery thriller, which those tend to do good for me of just like helping me get out of a slump. Like for this book, I think I'm about 60% the way through it, which I started it yesterday. So that's a really good. That's the most I've like read in a single day in a while. And I am enjoying it. I don't think it's gonna be a 5-star. Those books are rarely ever 5 stars, but it's getting me back in a reading mood. So that is kind of where we're sitting there. Then I did start an audiobook to Atmosphere of Taylor Jenkins Reid. I did read physically about a third of it, but again, I just felt like it was moving so slow. But then I kept seeing TikToks of people crying at the end and really loving it. So decided to pick up the audiobook to get through it, and maybe we'll see how I like the ending and if I'll enjoy it more as I get further along into it. Other than that, I'm a little at a loss for what to do next because I just feel like everything I'm picking up is not going too hot, but there are some books that I have on my radar. First up, Heartless. This is a fantasy, so I think that's a good little switch up. I haven't read fantasy in a while. I did just buy 2 romance paperbacks from Barnes because they were doing a buy one get one 50% off sale. Look at those sprayed edges. Anyways, and I've never heard anyone talk about these before, but they sounded really interesting. So these are also options to pick up next. But like I said, we're just going on till I find a 5-star. So we are gonna keep going, and who knows how long this is gonna take. Hopefully not too long. Bring you up to speed of where we're at. I finished The Thrashers by Julie Soto last night. It was good. I give it 4 stars. It wasn't 5 stars, but it was just a good little YA thriller that I did enjoy while I was reading. And then I have been listening to the audiobook of Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I'm almost done with it. I think I have like an hour left of the audiobook, and it's okay. I don't think it's gonna be a 5 star. I know the ending is supposed to be really, really sad, but I just don't foresee it being a 5 star. And then I was actually really excited all day because I wanted to come home and read, and I wanted to pick up this book, and it's Black Ties and White Lies. I've never heard of it or like seen people talk about it before, but I read the back at Barnes & Noble and it sounded kind of interesting. It's like a billionaire ex-boyfriend's brother fake dating trope type thing. Lots of big tropes thrown into one, but I just started reading it and I got 30 pages in, and I just am not like super interested, and I know this is not going to be a 5 star. Like, I think it could be a silly little romance that maybe I still enjoy, but this is over 400 pages and I'm just not fully into it, and I don't know if I want to spend a 400 page book where I'm already like not sure how I'm gonna like it, and now I'm just struggling. I don't know what to pick up to read. So we have these two. We have The Flat Share and Heartless. This is a fantasy, this is a romance. I don't know which one to pick up, to be honest. This seems more like a little like cozy romance, and this is like a little fantasy. I'm just getting very frustrated because I have such limited time to read now that I'm working full time, and the books that I'm picking up just aren't hitting like I want them to, so it's like really, really frustrating, and I don't know why I'm getting so upset. I need to just calm down. Anyways, I still need to pick what I'm gonna read, and I'll update you guys as I do. But look how cute my doggy is. Here he is. Orzo. Orzo. He just like blends it. You can't really see him. I've made the decision. We're going with Heartless. We'll see how this goes. Pretty big update. Ignore how red I am. I just went for a run and then came home and took a shower, and I stay really, really red when I run. Anyways, I finished Heartless by Marissa Meyer. Unfortunately, it was not a 5 star. I think I'm gonna give it 4 stars. One of the main reasons being I just felt like I got really lost in the world. It's kind of like based in Alice in Wonderland, and I quite frankly don't know if I've ever seen those movies, so there was just a lot of like references that I wasn't understanding, and then the world was just kind of odd, and it kind of just took me out of the story a little bit. So it wasn't a 5 star, but I did enjoy it, and I see why people really do like it, especially if you do love Alice in the Wonderland. You'll probably really, really like this. But since I finished that yesterday, 2 days ago, I picked up 2 other books. So I picked up The Long Walk by Stephen King. I'm reading this physically, and this is off to a very strong start. I wanted to read this because the movie is coming out here in like 2 months, but I'm really, really enjoying it so far. And Stephen King's writing is either really hit or miss for me. Like, one of my favorite books ever is by Stephen King, and then some of his books I'm just like, meh. So we're off to a strong start there. And I also started the audiobook of The 5 Star Weekend by Ellen Hildebrand, and I listen to a lot of audiobooks because my drive to and from work is kind of long. Like, it's normally about 45-50 minutes each way, so I have a lot of time to listen to audiobooks. I'm not 100% really liking this book so far. One of the main reasons, one of my pet peeves in books is when like our main characters are kind of unlikable, and most of the characters in here are unlikable, but I am listening to the audiobook, so I just want to get through it, and we'll see. Maybe something will start happening. There's some drama kind of looming in the background that should be coming up, but we started this. I don't even know how far in I am. I think I'm like 20% into the audiobook. I don't know how far that is into this book, but we're off to a good start. I maybe have high hopes for this one because I'm really liking it. I'm on page 56 and it's going really well. So I'm gonna keep reading this and I will keep you updated along the way. talked about the books that I've been reading and what they are actually about. You've just been sitting here watching me read. So we're gonna do that now. We're gonna yap for a little bit. Starting off the 5-star weekend, we're following Hollis, who is a middle-aged woman who's experiencing some big hardships in her life, and she decides to kind of get her life back on track, reinvigorate her. She's gonna invite 4 women from different periods in her life to this weekend at her beach house, and it's gonna be this extravagant thing. It's gonna help her get her life back on track. But it's women. There's drama, there's a lot of pettiness, annoying characters. So yeah, that's what this is about. It is set in like summery vibes, if that is what you're looking for. That's why I picked it up in summer. I am almost done. I dog-eared the page. I have that much left, but I ran out of Spotify audiobook hours, and I've been strictly audiobooking this book, but they reset in like 3 days. So we'll pick this book back up in like 3 days. It's not gonna be a 5-star, but it's here. Anyways, moving on. Then we had Heartless by Marissa Meyer. This is a standalone fantasy, and we're pretty much following this girl named Catherine, who is kind of in like a wealthy family, and she wants to be a baker. That is her ultimate dream. However, her family wants her to esteem higher, get a husband. Well, she ends up like getting courted by the king, and her whole family wants her to like go with the king, but it's her also not wanting to. And then she also meets the king's like Joker and starts having a little thing with the Joker. And it's very much like set kind of like whimsical sense, like Alice in the Wonderland. Like there's a bunch of walking, talking animals. Like most of the characters in here are animals of some sort, and it kind of threw me off. That's I kind of talked about it. That's one of the reasons I didn't give it 5 stars, was I was kind of lost in the world, but I enjoyed it, and it's a standalone fantasy. It's YA, and I think it was really fun. And if that sounded interesting, I would highly recommend to pick it up. It's also on Kindle Unlimited, so that is also a plus. Then I have 2 Stephen King books that I have been reading in this video. First up, Shawshank Redemption. One, I have never seen the movie. I know it is a movie. I do want to watch it now. It's really short. I'm only about halfway through it because I got bored. But we're following a guy who's in prison, and there's this other guy in the prison with him. That's interesting. And we're kind of just watching the two. I don't know what's going to happen. It really will only take me like an hour to finish this if I sit down and read it, but I just don't have the motivation. So, Shawshank Redemption. Then, The Long Walk by Stephen King. This is actually getting adapted into a movie, and I think it comes out like September, October-ish. I don't think they've announced the actual date, but pretty much you're following 100 boys who enter this competition called The Long Walk, and they quite literally walk until they can't anymore. So you keep walking, and if you stop or you go under 4 miles per hour past your like 3 warnings, like you get 3 warnings, you get killed. And it's a last man standing type thing. The last person standing gets money, esteem, all of that. And we're following walkers throughout the whole thing. And that's kind of the story. It was very, very interesting. The ending caught me off guard, was very interesting. So if you have read this, comment down below, because I want to chat about it. Because I have a lot of thoughts, and they're just inside my brain right now, and I want to get them out. And my boyfriend is planning on reading this as well before the movie comes out, so I can't talk to him about it yet until he reads it. The Long Walk by Stephen King. Anyways, now, I actually finished The Long Walk last night. You didn't see it, but I did. I actually finished it. Very fun. And decided to pick up Nora Goes Off Script by Annabelle Monaghan. So, complete 360, kind of from what we've been reading. We decided to pick up a little contemporary romance / women's fiction. It's very short. It's like under 300 pages. We're following Nora, who writes a screenplay / movie about her own life and her divorce, and it gets picked up, and they decide to film the movie at her house with like actors, and her and the main male actor have a thing. I'm only like 10 pages into it. That's all I really know. So that's Nora Goes Off Script. I have high hopes. I really loved Summer Romance by Annabelle Monaghan last summer, and I gave that 5 stars, so I have a lot of hopes that maybe this will be 5 stars as well. Past this, I don't know what's going to give me a 5-star. To be honest, I'm struggling here. Oh yeah, The Long Walk was not a 5-star. I think I'm going to give it like 4 or 4.5, which is what a lot of these books I've been sitting at, and that has been my problem, why I have not been having 5 stars. After this, I don't know what to read. But we'll see. I'll keep you updated. Nora Goes Off Script. Started a new audiobook that is Chain Gang All Stars. If you don't know what this book is about, it's pretty much like a Hunger Games in the prison system where these inmates can join the CAP program and pretty much fight for their freedom. So they fight the other inmates in the program and kill them in these like battles. And if you can get through 3 years of being in the program, like winning enough to stay, then you earn your freedom. But it's a very interesting concept. Like I was super excited to pick it up, and I know it's very, very well loved and raved about. Very well loved and raved about, but I just don't think I like the writing style of the book, and I'm not liking the characters, and I'm not liking just everything about it, pretty much. The concept is super interesting, but I just don't really like it, and I am 150 pages in, so I gave it a really good shot, of listening to the audiobook and I'm just not enjoying myself. And one thing I told myself this year is that if I wasn't enjoying a book, I would DNF it. So we're DNFing this book, which sucks because I used an Audible credit to buy the audiobook, but it's okay. Anyways, Chain Gang All-Stars was another fail for this video. I'm DNFing it, so it obviously was not a 5-star. I'm back with more updates for this video with some exciting ones. So I finished Nora Goes Off Script and I think I'm overall just gonna give it 4 stars. I feel like it took me a while to get into it, but once the conflict picked up, I actually got really hooked on it and kind of like binged the rest of it. And the ending was okay. It wasn't the most amazing ending in the world, but I was satisfied, so 4 stars. And it took me a little longer to read that than I thought it was going to, being it was under 300 pages. Then I picked up The Butcher by Jennifer Hillier, and this is like a little serial killer thriller, and it's pretty much our main character. His grandpa was like the chief of police that took down this infamous serial killer, and it's years later, and the grandson moves into his like grandpa's house after his grandpa goes to like a retirement home, and he starts finding really weird things that's connecting his grandpa to these serial killings, and that's kind of where I'll leave it, but it's really interesting. I started listening to the audiobook of it this morning and I'm really enjoying it. And yeah, on the audiobook, let's see how far it says I am. It says I'm 41% complete and I have a little under 6 hours left of that. And then a book just released today that I've been so excited for. It's one of my most anticipated releases of the year, which is scary to say because a lot of the new releases this year have kind of disappointed me, if I'm being honest. But I think this series is so fun. It's not everyone's favorite, but it's just silly, goofy, and I have a great time reading these books. And I give the first 2 books in the series 5 stars, so I have high hopes for this one. And that is Accomplice to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Meyer. I am so excited for this book. I loved the first 2, and I think this is the final book in the series, so I'm really excited to like be back in this world and kind of like end out this world. So this one, we are starting tonight. I am so excited for it. It's like 350 pages. I'm so excited. Words cannot express how much I love these books. Like, I just have such a fun time while reading them. So I'm really excited to read this. And this is the first book that I've picked up in a while that I've been like genuinely super, super excited to read it. So high hopes that this might be a 5-star, but I will keep you updated and let's go. Officially found a 5-star read after over a month of filming this video. When I first started this video was before I got my hair cut, and that was a while ago. It is absolutely insane to think about just how long it has taken me. To put it in perspective, I picked up 13 different books in this video to find a 5-star. So we're gonna go through them, starting out with books that I like soft DNF'd that I plan on picking back up eventually. First up, we have The Night Circus. When I first started reading this, how many pages did I even get in? I got 92 pages in, so pretty far. I was just a little bored, but I think I'm gonna pick this back up this fall because it does give kind of like whimsical fall energy. I also picked up Accomplice to the Villain, which I was enjoying. I also got like 100 pages into it, but I picked up Crescent City and I just wanted to read that one. And I don't like reading fantasies back to back, like different ones, just because I start comparing them. So I do plan on picking this back up because I do love this world and this series, just not right at this moment. And then I also picked up Black Ties and White Lies earlier in this video, like towards the beginning, and got like 25 pages into it, but I actually picked this one back up after I finished Crescent City, so I started reading this again last night. So those are my soft DNFs. Then we have my hard DNFs that I don't think I'll ever plan on finishing. First up, we have Shawshank Redemption by Stephen King. Honestly, I just wasn't that interested while I was reading it. I felt like there really wasn't a plot, and I got like halfway through it. I like dog-eared the page so that I knew, but I just had no inkling to want to continue it. So why read something when you don't want to? So DNF to that one, as well as Chain Gang All-Stars. I kind of talked about it when I did DNF it. I listened to the audiobook of it, and I just didn't like it. I just think the writing style movie wasn't for me. I wasn't super interested in the world and the plot, so we DNF this one because, like I said, I think I said it in this video, because I have such little time to actually read in my life, why spend that time reading a book that I'm not fully interested in? So that is that. Now, the books that I read on my Kindle that I don't have the physical copy for. First up, we have The Thrashers by Julie Soto. That was a good little thriller. It just wasn't a 5-star, but I did enjoy my time. I read it really quickly, so that was a pretty good one. And then the other one that I read was The Butcher, and that one another like kind of serial killer thriller. And it was okay. Again, it just wasn't a 5-star, but I did enjoy it. Thrillers are really, really hard for me to give 5 stars. I don't know why. I just don't give very many thrillers them, but I always really enjoy them, if that makes any sense. But those were my like Kindle reads. Now moving on to our physical book stack that I picked up during this video. There is so many books. Oh my gosh. Okay. First up, Nora Goes Off Script. I did enjoy this. I think I hit a little lag in the middle where I wasn't enjoying it as much, but the ending, I thought it was fine. It was like a good, I think I gave it 4 stars. It was okay. Not my absolute favorite, not my least favorite. It was good. Then we had the 5-star Weekend, which I loved the setting. I felt like it was a very perfect summer book, but I hated most of the characters. Granted, they came around in the end, and I did start liking them towards the end, but throughout most of it, I just felt like I disliked most of the characters, and that is one of my pet peeves in books, when I dislike characters, because it makes me really hard to like root for them and want to read their story, if that makes any sense. So, the 5-star Weekend. Then The Long Walk by Stephen King. This, I just hit myself. That was almost a 5-star. This one was really good. I think I gave it 4.5 stars, and I'm really excited for the movie adaptation to come out, but it was just didn't give me that 5-star feeling. I did really enjoy it, but it just wasn't quite there. And I would highly recommend people pick this up. Again, the movie is coming out, I think it's September or October, so highly recommend picking this one up. A good Stephen King read. Heartless by Marissa Meyer. This one wasn't bad. I just had a hard time like connecting with the world because I never really watched Alice in Wonderland when I was a kid, and there was a lot of like references to that world and that type of world, so I just didn't really understand it. But again, it was a solid read. I think I gave this one 4 stars as well. So a lot of mid-tier like reads. Then we had Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I was really rooting for this one because I love Taylor Jenkins Reid's writing, and I love books about characters in the STEM field, but I don't know why, just something fell flat for me in it. I had to listen to most of it on audiobook because I got bored when I was reading it physically, so it was just something was missing there. I didn't have that emotional tug and pull that I see a lot of people have, especially at the end. Like, yes, it was sad. Maybe it was because I was listening to it on audiobook, but it just wasn't quite there for me. So we had Atmosphere. And then the 5-star that we finally read, Crescent City. This is the first book. It is a hunker, but I absolutely loved it. Again, I was so scared going into Crescent City because I've seen so many things of people not liking the series, but also people loving it. And I was one that loved it. It was so good. I was a little skeptical at first because I did listen to most of it on audiobook because the beginning, the world is very complicated. There is a lot of different things to understand, but once you kind of like internalize that and really remember what's going on in the world, it was so good. There were so many plot twists in here that I was not expecting, and it had me on the edge of my seat the whole time, especially like the last 50, 80 pages. It was so, so, so good, and I immediately ordered the second book, and it's getting delivered today. So, very excited about that, but I'm so happy. I've been putting off this book for so long. I've had it on my TBR forever, and I've just been so scared to read it. Granted, it's just very intimidating. This book is over 800 pages, but I loved it, and this was the 5-star. So, we have officially found a 5-star in this video, which means we can finally bring this video to a close. This is your reminder that it is okay to not always read 5 stars, and it's hard when I make these types of videos because I feel like I'm almost setting books up for failure because I'm like searching for this 5-star, that I don't appreciate the books for what they are. Like, a lot of these books were solid books, like 4.5 stars, but I feel like they disappointed me because they weren't a 5-star. So I I think it's hard. I try not to do these videos very often, but I've been in such a reading slump, if you can't tell by the 13 books I touched in this video, that I just wanted to do it maybe if it would pull me out. And I'm really hoping that this pulled me out of my reading slump, and especially we are getting into fall time. I love reading in the fall and winter. I feel like it just is so much better, so I'm super excited. I can't believe we finally found the 5-star. I feel like I've been filming this forever because quite frankly, I have. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!